Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, welcome to the first video you ever watched here at Rekmar Gaming. At the moment we're just still doing the random commanders as we wait for the new set to hit. I know we've got the Innistrad Remastered coming up on MTGO shortly and in real life, but we'll see what that brings. We might have a look at some of the cards we haven't covered there before, but at the moment I'm still hitting up the random commanders, and today's one that was randomly generated is Dogmeat, Ever Loyal. Red, green and white for a 3/3 legendary dog. And when Dogmeat enters the battlefield, mill 5 cards, then return an aura equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. And whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, you get a junk token, which is a little artifact you can sacrifice off and exile top card of your library, and you can play it that turn. I'm purely doing this because Dogmeat is just a dog, and I have a thing for dogs, as some of you may know, because I have her at home. That's Ida. That's my pet dog. She's a sprocker, but you know, she's a bit funny. She's funny, but you know, I have a thing for dogs. I like dogs, always have done. So Dogmeat coming up was just a perfect opportunity for me to muck around with this card. So here we go. This is what today's deck is all about. So a few things to point out. We like things that get modified, and we like ways of getting our auras and equipment to cost less. So there's going to be a lot of cards in here you've seen before in equipment and aura decks, but hopefully there'll be a few new bits that don't come up that often. So Aki Ember Keeper starts off. Whenever a non-modified creature you control dies, you get a spirit. So, you know, hey that's fine. That gives us something to replace all our cards with when they get killed off. Goro chucks around haste as we want it to, and you know, attacking with a modified creature, we get to make some dragon tokens. The usual selection: Pure Steel Paladin to make the equipment cost 0. And then Sarum Soren, Senior Artificer, are also here to help with the card draw. Weapons Trainer makes an appearance because other creatures you control get +1/+0 as long as you control an equipment, so that's quite nice anyway. Ardeen, Intrepid Archaeologist, is in to move your equipment around on your combat phase. Daneth, Caspin Paragon, makes all the auras and equipment cost less. But the other version of Danetha, New Benalia's Light, once each turn you may cast an aura equipment spell from your graveyard. So, you know, if you mill too many yet with Dogmeat, you can just bring them back once a turn once you have Danetha in play. Cassandra, Eagle Bearer, is also in. I like this one from Assassin's Creed. I did a whole deck about Cassandra a while back. You can go and find it down below in the playlist. Get the Spear of Leonis, and then whenever a creature you control, whenever a creature you control with a legendary equipment attached to it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. We've got a few bits, not many, but a few. Kadoma of the West Tree helps out with modified creatures having trample, and damage dealing gets us basics. Bruna Battlehammer gives each creature you control +2/+0 for each equipment attached to it, and you can pay 0 for your first equip cost each turn. Chizero the Shattered Blade is turning up again in this deck. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each modified creature you control, and whenever an aura or equipment enters, you get a 2/2 Spirit with Menace, so you can't complain. However, God of Battle, either you have them down as the legendary Sword of Realms, or you can just have them down as the God, depending what you need more at the time. Rose, Cutthroat Raider, makes an appearance because of the benefit of the junk tokens we get off Dogmeat, so we get that extra mana to do things with when we sacrifice off our junk tokens. Temperamental Ozwagger. Yeah, you get to adapt it for 2, that's fine. And then modified creatures you control have trample. Just another way of giving all your stuff trample. Especially this guy becomes a 6/6 for 7 mana, basically. So we're not going to complain too much. Denethar Benalia's Hope comes in to get our equipment or auras from our graveyard back to our hand. Well, probably from our graveyard. Well, the ones out of our hand, we don't need to worry about, but the ones from the graveyard coming back attached do help. Ivor, Battle Ready, also makes an appearance. Vigilance and Haste. Whenever this attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipment you control to each opponent. Another great one from Assassin's Creed that doesn't see enough play yet, in my opinion, in Commander. Kami of Celebration. Whenever a modified creature attacks, you get to exile the top card of your library, and whenever you cast a spell from exile, you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. So pump your creatures up happily. Tiana, Ship's Caretaker, is also in. As long as if this stuff goes to your graveyard when this is in play, they all get to come back to your hand at the end of the next end step. So yeah, a little bit of protection from mass destruction effects. Aki Battle Squad. Whenever one or more modified creatures you control attack, untap all modified creatures you control, and then you get an additional combat step. Yep. Heavenly Blade Master just makes all your creatures very big for each equipment and aura attached to it. Mirror Style Master also makes an appearance. It's got backup, which is a bit weird. I mean, it's 6 mana for a 3/3 with backup 1. But whenever this creature attacks, for each attacking modified creature you control, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that creature. Yeah, okay then. That sounds pretty good. Just be careful your legendary ones, that's all. Nahiri, and finally Nahiri Forged in Fury has affinity for equipment, and whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, exile top card your library. You may play that this turn. If it's equipment, you can play it without paying its casting cost. So yeah, that's good. A little bit of ramp in Spellland with Nature's Law and 3 visits, then Alpha Striker with the Chroma's Will and Blasphemous Act to control the board a bit. And then we have the artifacts. So ramping is Monk's Tantalite Soul Talisman. The first bit of equipment is Basilisk Collar, because who doesn't love Death Touch and Lifelink on a creature? Same with the Bloodforged Battle Axe. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you get a token that's a copy of this, so it gets out of hand quite quickly. Elixir of Immortality, just shuffle everything back in when it goes pear-shaped. Soul Ring for more ramp. Adriel Narsil Reforged is also coming in. Whenever equipped creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And if you have the City's Blessing, you get to put 2 counters on each creature instead. That's fine. It does come with the Send, so we can get the City's Blessing that way. Arcane Signet for more ramp. Drowsing Dagger is ramp and a bit of equipment, and eventually flips into Lost Veil. It's quite easy to get this to flip. Play this on turn 2, give the plant token to someone with a load of creatures. Equip it the next turn and just attack someone who's got no creatures. It is Commander after all. Turn 3 attacking is good fun. One of each of the medallions to help us cast things. Dogmeat does get a little bit expensive once they've been killed off a couple of times. Cardius, Staff of Hermes is in. Has lifelink. As long as you have 30 or more life, equipped creature gets +5/+5 and has indestructible. And prevent all damage that will be dealt to this creature. Okay then. 3 of the swords. Feast and Famine. I'm not going to go through this, I expect you all know. Fire and Ice, Light and Shadow. Although you can play these, whichever ones you want to play. That's fine. I just put these in because these have to be the ones I like. If you want to play some of the other ones, feel free to play whatever you want. The Reaver Cleaver's in to get those lovely treasure tokens to help us with our mana. The Spear of Leonidas is also in because obviously we're playing the wonderful legend from Assassin's Creed that lets us go and find it. So this had to be here. Helm of the Host, legendary equipment. We like having multiple copies of things. And then the new one coming in from Foundations that's doing quite well for me so far is Leyline Axe. The ability, if you've got it in your opening hand, to play it for free, which, yes, it's Commander. You've got not a high chance of pulling it, but still worth doing it. We do have quite a few enchantments as well, because obviously Dogmeat likes enchantments as well. So we've got Rancor for the trample and return it to our hand. We've got Sigarda's Aid to go and make sure we can cast our auras and equipment as though they had flash. And then when we cast equipment, we can just put it onto attached to a target creature you control without paying the equip cost. All That Glitters just pumps up a creature sillily. Fighter's Class is also in, just to go and find an equipment and then cut the cost down of all our equip abilities. Lion Umbra just gives a bit of protection and then gives something. You have to put it on a modified creature already. Bear that in mind. So you already got to have an enchantment or a bit of equipment attached to the creature, and then you get to do this, which makes life a bit more interesting. Nahiri's Machinations is also in. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains indestructible until the end of turn, and then it deals 1 damage to target blocking creature. So a little bit of maybe pingage at the end of the day. All the runes are in. The Might, the Speed and Sustenance will all go onto a bit of equipment. Sorry about the noise in the background there. That was my phone going off. I thought it was on silent. Right. Armadillo Cloak is next up. +2/+2 and a variation of, never got reworded to lifelink, but +2/+2 trampling, gaining the life is pretty good. Another Umbra, the bear one. Whenever this creature attacks, untap all lands you control and gives a little bit more protection to your creature it's on. One with the Kami. Whenever enchanted creature or another modified creature you control dies, you get all those lovely colourless spirit tokens. It helps keep things going. Pattern of Rebirth, whenever enchanted creature is put into a graveyard, you can go through your library, find another creature card, and put that card onto the battlefield. That has been edited to say that now on MTGO. Nahiri's Resolve, creatures you control have +1/+0, and then you get to blink anything you want to at the end of turn. And then I had a bit of fun at the end, Colossification. Yeah, 2020 and tap enchanted creature. Whatever. The lands are what you'd expect to have in a red, white and green deck. Nothing really particularly fancy here at all. We have got Reliquary Tower here. We have got Temple of the False God here to help us out. But it's just a bit of a different one, I think, with Dogmeat. I mean, I am now coming around to the fact that some of the Universes Beyond cards are quite good. And, you know, Fallout has proven to have some interesting cards. There'll be another one later this week. And yeah, I'm quite happy with Dogmeat. So that's my take on Dogmeat. Let me know if you think what I've missed out down below in the comments. I will respond to them. I will be streaming this deck at some stage this week, probably Thursday night. This should be going out on Monday, so Thursday you'll probably see me playing Dogmeat on stream if you want to come do that. There's a link down below to my wonderful Twitch stream where you can come and find me over there. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video with another random commander. So for now, thanks for watching. Take care. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.